paste is made from fresh vegetables and spices.
By folks in San Antonio who know what picante sauce should taste like.
Or this stuff's made in New York City.
New York City!
I grew up split between San Antonio and Mexico, and it taught me a lot about Mexican culture. I started working with my father-in-law, David Pace, at Pace Foods. I started on the production line. We were chopping peppers and chopping onions, and that wasn't exactly what I had in mind. And then I moved into sales, and that was what I really enjoyed doing. When I started in sales, we ended up at about $250,000, a very low number, and ended up at about $260 million in sales. That was a big number. I never did too well in school. One thing I did learn in school is I better surround myself with real smart people. I've had a partner in crime, Rod Sands.
Kit wanted to be the best. He wanted the product to be the best. Being second best didn't get you anywhere because you've got competitors out there trying to take your business around every corner. And that's where the saying, good enough isn't enough, comes from. Under Kit's leadership, Pace grew from literally hundreds of thousands of dollars to hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. He loved that company. He loved the people in the company. He surprised me when he decided to sell the company. It was the last thing I expected him to do.
We kept seeing more and more come in the business, and they would take tiny shares, but every little share counted. We started measuring that every year to see, is this the time, is this not? So we did that for about 5 years. And finally got to the point where, yeah, it's time. We sold it to Campbell Soup for $1.1 billion.
After the Pace Foods success, Kit thought, well, I have a lot to offer to other entrepreneurs who have small food companies that have great products, but they either don't have the management skill or the capital to be able to grow those products. That was Silver Ventures.
What we did is we bought 4 or 5 small companies with the idea of building them up. One of our food companies that did work out of that group was a company called NatureSweet. The company is the largest tomato selling company in the country.
Kit had a vision. Let's go change the lives of these agricultural workers who are traditionally the most oppressed workforce in the world. And that has been the greatest opportunity, is get to watch 6,000 people participate at NatureSweet in transforming the agricultural world. Kit has a superpower to be able to see the potential of beauty in a place no one else can see it. If you come to Pearl, you're gonna see that in buckets. Someone 125 years ago made a decision to make the brew house beautiful. Kit saw that and said, that ought to be preserved.
I was aware of Pearl for a long time, and I've always loved the buildings because I grew up around them. So we bought them, and then we decided, what are we going to do now? We started slowly, started building places for people to live. We had 2 restaurants that came in and gave us credibility. I had taken some courses with the CIA, the Culinary Institute of America, so I thought that would be a great thing to have here.
When Pearl was established, it was first, let's make this a culinary center. But the second part was, how do we bring people who traditionally have been in the back of the kitchen, generally Hispanics or other people of color, and how do we have the opportunity to bring them to the front of the kitchen and to be sous chefs, executive chefs, entrepreneurs, operators, general managers.
CIA saw this was a great market for them. To this day, we still do about 40% Hispanic students, and that's gone out into the city of San Antonio and turned it into a food destination. What's important to me are children. That's what's in our philosophy for giving money away.
In the city of San Antonio, we have a serious issue related to childhood obesity. Kit has committed a significant amount of resources to the education of our youth and to exposing children to healthy eating. If we can train them in the habits of healthy eating now, it can transform their lives to physical health and well-being for their future. You say to someone, the entire nation is not gonna like salsa. You're not going to be able to transform the lives of agricultural workers through growing tomatoes. You're not going to be able to take a demilitarized zone, which was the Pearl Brewery, and turn it into one of the most beautiful areas in the country, and then he does. And that starts with Kit and his idea of make great products with great people.